Hello guys, welcome back to Faith Movies. Today's movie recap will be a drama and melodrama movie from 2018 called God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. The movie starts with a man handcuffed and led to a car by the police. We later discover that this man's name is Pastor Dave. Not long after, on the same day, he is released. He is met by a man named Jude who helped with his bail. When the two went outside the station, they were met by the press, and the pastor spoke to them. After leaving the station, the two drove to a lady who loves to feed homeless people. The pastor always goes there to leave stuff with her for the poor. Jude advised the pastor to ask her out since he has known her for a long time, but the pastor dismissed it. When they got to the lady's place of work, he dropped off the supplies. She teased him about being a convict and always being on television due to his controversial situation. Before the pastor left, she gave him a pack of food for the day. When he got to the car, he saw a note that said, "Always had a weakness for bad boys, M." In another scene, we see the pastor preaching to his congregation, and he introduces Jude as his co-pastor. In the night, while the pastor and Jude were leaving, they heard a noise of glass being shattered. They rushed to the sound and saw someone running away. The pastor called the cops, and Jude went in to check the damage. While Jude was checking, he tried to turn on the light, but an explosion happened, which hurt Jude. The pastor rushed in to save Jude, who had hit his head and was bleeding. The pastor dragged him out of the burning building. Jude tried to say something, but the pastor did not hear. Then Jude passed out. In the next scene, we are taken 12 hours back in time. We see a lady named Keaton talking in solitude. She is joined by her boyfriend, Adam, who brought her snacks. While they were catching up, she got a call from her mother but didn't want to answer because she didn't want her to know that she's in questioning. Later in the day, Keaton, her boyfriend, and a few of their friends talk about God and physics and how Reverend Dave is poisoning people's minds with his one truth preaching. During the conversation, Adam said something Keaton didn't like about her faith. Angry, Keaton left the room where the friends were. Adam rushed after her and apologized, but she told him that they have had this conversation many times. She then told him that she needed some space for herself for a while. This made Adam sad, and he told her that she shouldn't do something like that. But she had made up her mind and left him. She then went to her school fellowship called Harbor House. She met the lead of the fellowship and apologized for being away for some time. At night, we see Adam alone at a party. He and his earlier friends left the party when it was over. They consoled him about what happened with Keaton before leaving him alone. Adam then turned and saw the church. He picked up a spray paint can and drew an X on the signboard. He threw a stone into the church, bringing us back to the scene where the pastor and Jude chased him away. The next morning, Adam saw the news about the fire at the church and Jude's death. He felt bad because he did not intend to cause any harm. We are then taken to a meeting room where the school board is discussing the matter. They are deliberating on what to do with the church. Most agreed that closing the church was the best option because it has brought more controversies and bad PR for the school. One of the board members named Tom, who is a friend of the pastor, told them that it's not a good idea because the church is a landmark that has been there even before the school was built, but they didn't take his words seriously and decided to close the church. In the next scene, we see Jude's funeral in a church where the pastor preaches. Pastor Dave then meets with Jude's parents and apologizes to them, but they say it's not his fault and that it's God's will. Later, we see the pastor on a jog. He breaks down and starts crying at some point because of the pain. Afterward, he goes to Tom, who is his friend, to discuss the repairs and renovation of the church, only to discover that the church will be closed down. He tries his best to change the man's mind, but the man says the board has already decided. At night, we see the pastor and the leader of the Harbor House Fellowship discussing the importance of the church and that they need to do something to save it. The pastor thinks about it and decides to travel to Chicago the next day to meet his lawyer. His lawyer tells the pastor that he's not a property lawyer, but the pastor convinces him to still help and that he has a little money to handle his fees. In the next scene, Adam calls Keaton to talk to her about something. He confesses the truth about what he did while crying and how sad he is about it. She comforts him. Back at the pastor's home, the lawyer is taken inside by the pastor. The next morning, the pastor wakes up to find the lawyer working on some paperwork for the case. They decide to go out for something to eat. After eating, the pastor took the lawyer to the church so that he could see the destruction caused by the fire. In the next scene, we discover that the lawyer is his brother, and two of the board members are discussing the case between the school and the pastor. One of them is Tom. Tom suggests offering a better settlement, but the other board member argues that they do not have the money to pay the pastor. In the next scene, we see Adam watching a YouTube video of Jude's parents being interviewed after the funeral. Adam later meets with Keaton to discuss the matter with her. He tells her that he has to go and confess because the police are ruling the case as a murder, but it was just a mistake on his part. Keaton advises him not to do it. Next, we see the pastor and his lawyer discussing the case. The pastor receives an emergency call and they both rush to the church. There, they find that a big tractor is about to demolish the church. The pastor stops them from proceeding. His lawyer tells the pastor to stall them while he goes to meet with the judge assigned to their case to stop the demolition. In an attempt to stall the demolition team, the pastor calls his students to move in front of the church and he starts preaching. The pastor's lawyer quickly locates the judge who is at a church program. The lawyer sits beside her and tells her about the situation and the imminent demolition. Later, we see the lawyer return to the site with a signed document shown on his phone, bearing the judge's signature, directing the demolition team to stop. The press is there to cover the drama in front of the church. In the next scene, we see Keaton approach the pastor, asking him about the progress of the church. She also asks him what the police will do when they find who's responsible. The pastor says the person will be sent away for a long time. In a meeting, we see Pastor Dave, his lawyer, the board, and their lawyer discussing the case. The board proposes a settlement, but the pastor isn't budging. He only wants his church. After a little back and forth, the board members leave the meeting with no resolution. At night, at a party, we see Keaton go to meet Adam. Adam talks about how his dad molested his mother, which led to her divorcing his dad. Adam assures her that he did not mean to harm Jude, and she says she believes him. At night, Tom is reading negative comments about the school's decision regarding the church. Suddenly, a stone is thrown into his home, causing a panic. Angry, he drives to the pastor's place, accusing him of sending people to his house, leading to a fight that is stopped by the pastor's lawyer. The next day, the pastor is at home when he gets a message that Adam started the fire. Furious, the pastor drives to the school, confronts Adam, and hits him. The police arrive and arrest Adam. Later, the pastor's lawyer, who is also his brother, is packing up to leave. He tells the pastor he'll leave the case to another lawyer to continue the case. The pastor asks if this is because of their earlier argument, leading to another heated argument between them. Afterward, the pastor meets with Adam. Adam confesses that he sent the message about stoning the church. The pastor is moved by his honesty and goes to talk to Tom about giving Adam leniency. During their conversation, they also discuss the church. That night, protesters gathered outside the church. The pastor and Tom address the crowd. The pastor announces that he will withdraw the lawsuit against the school and donate the land for new school facilities, hoping to build a new church elsewhere. The movie ends with everyone, including the protesters, holding candles as a memorial for Jude. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. Your support is appreciated. Remember, Jesus loves you. Have a blessed day, and see you next time.